Hi, I'm Jazmin Mendoza, and for my potluck presentation, I picked a dish of pozole verde of de pollo, pozole verde de pollo. So there are usually in the Mexican culture two types of pozole. They're either made with pork or chicken, but this one is made with chicken, and it's called pozole verde because of its color. It's green. And to start off, its ingredients include chicken, maíz, in English is called hominy, I'm pretty sure, cilantro, tomatillos, which are like, I searched it up because all of these ingredients, I know them like in Spanish, so I searched it up and it's little tomato, so it's like these little green tomatoes, and those are used mainly to get this color that you see here. And this picture is actually from my mom's that she's made in the past. And then tomatillos, jalapeno, onion, garlic, oregano, salt, bacon, and salchichas, or like hot dog wieners. And then the garnish ingredients include lettuce, radish, lime, onion, and usually a lot of people like to eat it with tostadas or doritas, which is just like tortilla chips. And usually I ask my mom about this because mainly now, or a lot of the times in people who live in the States, it's a more common dish. Like you do see it more often in like for like birthdays, bigger celebrations like weddings, during Christmas season, a lot of people eat this dish. But I asked my mom, and she said in Mexico, it's mostly common. It's mostly common to see it during Mexico's Independence Month, which is in September. So a lot of families would make this dish a lot more often during that month. But researching it, it had a totally different way of being served. And firstly, I learned that it comes from the Nahuatl word pozole, which translates to stew of maize kernels. And it was regarded as a meal for privileged elite of people of the Aztec Empire. And it was also mainly served for celebrations of gods, good harvest, and of changing seasons, which was really interesting to learn because, again, nowadays it's like a very common dish. You can literally make it like any other dish you would serve to a day-to-day basis. I also learned throughout researching it that it was originally known as talcalcoli, which is a sacred ritualistic meal. So it was a meal served during important rituals. The Aztecs associated with the dish was a rain god, Talcolc, and it was used in ceremonies to ensure a bountiful harvest. And then its ingredients also have a history because that's what the presentation was about, right? To kind of research, not kind of, to research the meaning of these ingredients. And pre-colonial pozole had a like, I think nowadays people see it as dark or sinister, but it was normal for them back then. Chicken or pork pozoles weren't made of like that main protein, chicken or pork. It was usually with some bits of human flesh. And this was a symbolization of the cycle of life and death. So the stew was shared in the communities during religious rituals and reflecting the deep spiritual meanings of the dish. And then, of course, over the time the recipe evolved, and then human flesh was replaced because it was cannibalization was banned, and it was replaced with other proteins, and the common one was teplesununtle, which was a type of common rodent back then. So it was very interesting to learn how it has evolved, and I decided the main ingredients to pick and kind of see when and where they were domesticated was the main ingredient maize or hominy. You can't really see in this picture. I don't really think you can, but it's in there. It was domesticated more than 8,700 years ago in Mexico's central Balsas River Valley. And it was derived from the testonte, which was a large wild grass that has 5 species growing around Mexico, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. And then I also decided to pick chicken because I think chicken is very used in a lot of very commonly used nowadays in a lot of dishes. So I was like, where did it begin to be domesticated? And I found this really recent article that talked about it. They learned that they found remains of it that dated way earlier than they thought to be. So it began in rice fields planted by Southeast Asian farmers around 3,500 years ago. And it was the earliest remains came from the Ban Nan Wat, a dry farming site in central Thailand. So it was very interesting to learn about it. But yeah, that is the dish I decided to pick for the presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.